Welcome to the Vibe Higher podcast. My name is Sarah Hoviak. I am a holistic nutrition and wellness practitioner. I am so excited to be here with you. I've got some Egyptian mint licorice tea that I am drinking. I have been recording videos for the last few hours. I've got a coaching call after this and my throat is getting a little dry. So grab a cozy drink and hang out with me. For those of you that are listening over on Apple or on Spotify, know that this is an actual YouTube video. So if you want to watch this podcast and sit with me in real time, you can come join me face to face over on the YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be here with you all. I like to start, as often as I can remember, I like to start my podcasts and any sessions and any workshops off with some breath, because I think we can always use a reminder to just slow down just for a moment. So do that with me. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill up your belly. Open your mouth, sigh it out slowly. Again, breathe in. And out. One more time, breathe in. And out. Welcome. I am so excited to be here with you live, and I'm also really excited to be sitting here talking to you about some interesting information. We are talking about open loops and underlying health issues, because there are things that I think are very related to our mental health and to our health in general that we don't think about when we think about why we can't focus, why we can't concentrate, why we have anxiety, why we have health issues like gut issues, or we have brain fog, or we have mental clarity, or we have a feeling like something's off, or we're feeling overwhelmed, or we have skin issues. Like there are or even hormonal issues. I wanted to dissect what my philosophy is, what my understanding is as a holistic practitioner in the healing arts of the underlying health issues that we're not conditioned to focus on. I've been in a lot of Facebook groups lately because I am in the market. I'm in the process of starting to see what are people needing help with, how can I help, where are the people that I can help. So I'm in these different Facebook forums, and a lot of them are hormonal based, PCOS based, and health, like alternative health services based. And a lot of the women that I see seeking help for their PCOS or their hormonal imbalances or their gut issues or their skin issues or their mental fog or insomnia are all looking for some kind of supplement, something they can take, or even some kind of medication advice on what works and what they can take. And I see some people talking about holistic remedies and holistic practices that can support, but they're not always on target. So, for example, there was a woman that I was speaking with. I saw she had shared that her 19-year-old son has insomnia and extreme anxiety and cannot be left alone without feeling like something is wrong or something bad is going to happen. And you have people commenting saying, tell him to take deep breaths, or tell him to get off of his screen time, or have him do lymphatic drainage, or have him do a parasite cleanse. And it's like, I appreciate people are trying to help and invested with finding a solution. But I mean, as soon as I hear that information, I'm looking at what's driving these behaviors, what's driving anxiety, what's driving a fear that in the moment, if left alone, something bad is going to happen. This is an insomnia. Like this immediately registers to me as an individual who has some kind of fear activated in his system that does not feel safe enough to rest. He can't fall asleep, does not feel safe enough to be alone. He needs to be with his mother, is really struggling with some kind of nervous system dysregulation. That's immediately what my mind goes to. So before we go into quickly answering or quickly addressing what's going on with a solution right away, I believe we need to ask a ton of questions, because we do. Side story, I went to this vitamin store to apply for a management position to see if that was something that this person needed help with. And I was seeking to just be of impact in any way that I can to help people right now, to be of service. And I got to work with this one woman that came in for help. And I just had so many questions, because she's like, I'm looking for this. And she found the product for it. She's like, great. And I was like, well, wait, what's going on? And so we got to talk more about it. I'm like, well, how's your sleep? And she's like, oh my God, I'm not sleeping at all. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, why? And then we got to talk about her digestion. She's like, it's really not that good. I'm actually really constipated. So just by asking questions and getting to know her, I found out all of these different health things going on. And I was able to create a protocol of supportive things that would help her in what she was dealing with. So this woman that I was speaking with online shared that I was like, okay, well, can I ask what's going on here? Because to me, this sounds like nervous system dysregulation. He's not feeling safe enough to rest or let go or be in the moment or be alone. What's driving this? Like, what happened? Did something happen? And she said, yes, actually. Maybe a few years ago, her son got in a car accident. Well, he got hit by a car. He was skateboarding and he got hit by a car. And ever since then, he's been this way. It's like, well, yeah, that makes total sense. To me, that makes immediate sense. We've got fear, we've got anxiety, we've got paranoia, we've got worry, we've got, I don't want to be alone. I feel like something bad is going to happen to me. The trauma of the past is not healed. So his mind is predicting that it's going to happen again. So he's living in this fear-based paranoia state. Of course he can't fall asleep. Of course he wants to be with his mother. Of course he's not feeling okay. Of course his body doesn't trust letting go and being safe at the moment. It's like, oh, it feels so obvious to me. So then I was talking more with her. I'm like, well, have you heard about restorative yoga? And she's like, no, I haven't. It's like restorative yoga. It heals chronic stress. It teaches your nervous system it's safe to let go. It teaches the body it's safe to let go. This will help him with sleep. This will help him with his anxiety. His body needs to learn that the trauma that he went through is no longer happening right now because he's living in an irrational fear that it's happening right now. His body's on alert that there's a threat in the room. That is a sign that his nervous system is stuck in stimulation. So he's got this new set point of anxiety is the baseline. And that's so stressful. That's so stressful. So I shared a couple classes with her. I told her to seek a somatic experienced therapist that could help him go into the body. It unlocks some energy because he didn't want to see a therapist. And it's something that I recognize is the underlying root to so many health issues. So even in these Facebook forums of seeing these other people talk who were saying, I have PCOS and I heard that this GLP-1 medication can help, or I heard that this can help, or I'm looking for what supplements I can take. And I'm like, I don't see anyone talking about I should say not every, I see it a little bit, but not enough, about a blood sugar friendly diet and about exercise. So let me take a moment to break down for you what I learned that drastically changed the way that I saw food and exercise. But I need a sip of tea, so sip your tea with me. When I learned about blood sugar and exercise and nutrition, at first it was really overwhelming, but then I heard it broken down this way when I was learning from Kelly LeVeque in her book, Body Love Every Day. She shared that your muscles are like storage tanks, okay? Your muscles are like storage tanks. They store sugar. Your muscles store sugar. They're storage tanks for sugar. Majority of your food, not all of it, but majority of your food is broken down into sugar or glucose. We're just going to keep it easy, sugar. So it's broken down into sugar. And then it goes into your bloodstream and it will either go to your cells to give them energy to be alive and do things, or it'll go to your muscles to store. Now, if you're not exercising and burning the stored sugar from your muscles, you're not burning it up, then there's no room for that excess sugar in your bloodstream to go. So what happens then? Your cells don't need any more sugar and your muscles have no room because you're not burning the stored sugar. So what happens? The sugar gets stored as fat. So what we want to be doing is exercising and burning off the sugar that's stored in our muscles to open up the storage tank so our food that's digested as sugar has somewhere to go instead of storing as fat. And then you use that sugar in your muscles as energy when you're moving, when you're moving your body. So if you have hormonal problems, the root to hormonal problems that we want to focus on is your diet and your exercise, because hormonal issues are a metabolic issue. It's an endocrine issue. Your hormones will be healthy and happy when you're exercising and eating properly. So let's break down a very simple approach. I actually just wrote a Substack, my very first one. I wrote a Substack on this, on how to build a healthy plate for blood sugar regulation, for blood sugar focused meals. This is great for PCOS, PMDD, PMS, prediabetes, diabetes, metabolic issues, hormonal issues. This is great in general for overall generalized health. I believe I'm a specialist in generalized health. Generalized well-being, because let's keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. It can be easeful. It can be easy. It can be easy. So I'm actually going to link below the Substack article if you want to read. I have 3 different diagrams that are colorful, beautiful, and easy to understand how to build a healthy plate and an example of what a healthy plate looks like with a formula I'm going to teach you. So protein, fat, fiber, and greens are the 4 main food groups to focus on as many of your plates as possible when you're building a meal that are going to help you with blood sugar regulation. For the sake of today's podcast, I'm going to put that link down below so you can read it and look at the diagrams. It's going to be way easier. So whatever it is that you have going on, you have some kind of health concern. And I mean, I've talked to so many women that just feel off. Something's wrong. I don't feel right. Something's off. I know it. I feel it intuitively. I know in my body something's wrong. I don't know what it is. And you go to these doctor appointments and you go to these therapists and you're getting lab work done and you're talking and nobody's able to figure out what's going on with you. Now, granted, there are some cases where it's genuinely a health problem where you need some kind of medical support. But what I don't see happening as often, that I think is becoming a growing conversation topic, is the underlying root to health issues, which is the invisible world of your inner body. Many women that I speak with are stuck in their heads and they're not living in their bodies. That alone will show you you're going to have health problems. Because your body is abandoned. Your body is neglected. Your body is not supported. It's not safe. It's not protected. It's now in harm's way. Because when you're not in your body is all alone. When your body is all alone, it doesn't feel safe. And when your body doesn't feel safe, you're dysregulated. You are not in harmony and you are not present. When you are dysregulated, you don't digest your food well. You don't uptake your nutrients well. Your hormones don't balance well. Your mental health is not very strong. Your anxiety is high. Your overwhelm is high. You're not getting good sleep. Let's go way back to the basics of what is health. Health is a choice. It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. We need to focus on the invisible work that really drives outward health. And that comes from being present in the body, having a nervous system that feels safe and supported. So you're actually present. You're in a healthy nervous system. You're in a healthy tolerance window to where you can handle stress in a greater capacity instead of getting triggered and overwhelmed very quickly. You're resilient to stress. You can handle stress because you're in the body, you're present, you're adaptive, you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. You trust yourself, you're well-resourced. Well, if you're not that way, if you don't feel well-resourced, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't follow through on your word, if you feel a sense of dread and self-doubt and you have anxiety and you're not feeling like you, those are all indicators you need healing. And healing is something that you can work on in the body, emotionally, somatically, nervous systemly. And it's all things you can do before you start giving your body more things to process, like more drugs, more pharmaceuticals, or even more supplements, or even more herbs, which are all important things at a time and place. But let's just go back to number 1. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? A lot of the women I talk to need really strong support going into feeling what they're actually feeling. I had a client I was working with yesterday, and she was sharing with me a story that happened to her in the past that was just abusive and harmful, like broke my heart, a harsh story to hear. And I could see on her face the emotion that she was not feeling, and I could feel it, because when I work with my clients, I can feel what is going on underneath the surface level of their awareness. They either know it or they don't know it, but I will help them know it. So we were sitting in session, and I was like, well, hold on. So I'm hearing you talk. Hold on. What are you feeling from this right now? And she took a moment, because my clients tend to talk. They're in their heads. They don't really feel what's going on. They're disconnected. So pausing her from being in the mind and asking her to inquire what's going on in her body is what women need. Women need an invitation to slow down and go into their bodies. They need permission to go into feeling. They need permission to go in. They need support being invited into their own bodies. So when I was working with this client, I invited her into, what is the emotion you are feeling right now? And in a few moments, she was able to say, I feel like there's a lot of sadness here. I feel like there's a lot of sadness here. And I was like, I feel that too. So can I ask, where in your body do you feel the sadness? This is somatic experiencing. We're not going into the body. We're starting to experience. So what is it? Where is the sadness that you're feeling? Is it in one area, or is it maybe all over? She said, it's not really in an area. It's kind of all over. And I was like, is it in your body or is it around your body? And she said, it's more around my body. I said, okay, what would happen if you invited that sadness into your body so it was closer to you and you could feel it? And as soon as we did that, she then allowed, there were tears that started to come. And I'm like, here we go. This is the healing work that we need to be doing as women so that the health issues or the issues we're facing in our lives can resolve. Because after that, after she felt that emotion, after she felt the pain and she allowed some of the wound to heal, she then had more vibrancy to her. She had a glow. She was smiling at the end of our session. She was becoming a new person because she was coming back online. This is the work. This is so cool. This is so amazing. I mean, another example of this is I was talking to a prior employee of mine. We were talking on the phone. And she was trying to tell me, because she comes from the perspective of she's so intelligent. She's so intelligent. She knows about so many different kinds of diets. She knows about the supplements and the regimes you need to take. And she's going off on all these different things that I need to know to help someone with something. And I was like, no, I'm going to stop you right there. That's not what I do. What I do is I work on what's beneath all of the things you're talking about. She's like, okay, well, do it with me in real time then. And she starts telling me all the problems she has. And she starts telling me all the issues, all the abuse, all the stuff in the background, all the childhood stuff, all the things she faced. And I was like, stop talking. And she starts laughing. I'm like, no, seriously, stop talking. Take a deep breath. Because she was getting so inflated in her story. She was getting so inflated in the emotions, but she wasn't feeling the emotions. She was analyzing it in her mind. So I was like, hold, stop talking. Take a deep breath. So she took a deep breath and I was like, what emotion is here? She's like, rage, anger. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that too. I also feel a lot of other things. I feel fear, panic, overwhelm, terror, paranoia, anxiety. These are the things I feel. She's like, well, I've already worked on that. I know that's there. I'm like, no, you haven't. You know it's there in your mind, but you haven't felt it. You haven't slowed down to feel it. And she's like, yeah, you're right. I don't really want to. It's like, yeah. But that's what it is. That's the work that we need to do. When we as women take time to process our emotions, we regain our life force energy. And many of us were taught not to feel our emotions. We were taught that it wasn't safe to feel our emotions. We were taught it was not safe to be ourselves. We were taught to be the good girl, the one that was appeasing to the other. We weren't really taught how to go in and explore our inner world or how to be authentic with our expression. And we need that reminder and that permission and that guidance to go in so we can feel. And when we can start to feel, we transform, because every time you let yourself feel an emotion, you do transform. You gain some kind of wisdom from letting an emotion run its cycle. So these two women had very similar things going on. They were very much in their minds and they weren't coming down into the body to feel the reality of it. They could see it. They knew it was there, but they weren't able to go into it. I had another client in my past, same thing. She is very intellectually aware. She's very in her mind. She has a lot of information. She sees a lot. She knows a lot, but she doesn't come into the body to process it in the body. And it's just a process of interrupting her like, whoa, hold on. We're really in the head right now. Slow down, take a deep breath. What is it you're feeling right now? And sometimes my clients know what it is, and other times they have no clue what the emotion is. And I can feel it. So if they don't know, I will support them. Or if they're like, well, I think it might be this. And I'm like, is there anything else? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, what about this emotion? And they're like, yeah. And then they'll start going into and feeling it. And it really, that is the underlying root to health issues that we need to focus on, is when you're not processing your stress, when you're not processing life, when you're not digesting your emotions, when you're not digesting the conversations you had that day, when you're just going, wake up, work, eat, sleep, go, work, like the whole repeat cycle that you're in, and you're not processing your life. You're missing so much of the wisdom life has to offer you. You're missing the moment where connection, safety, and peace is. You're just missing so much. And you lose out on real wisdom and real intelligence because you're not metabolizing the information to gain it. And women need that. Women are beautiful medicine beings. And we need to slow down and we need to feel. We need to feel our emotions. We need to feel our stress. We need to process. Think of your body as a child. And if you're not taking the time to connect with your body, care for your body, go into your body, nourish your body, then your body is going to be the child that was neglected. It's going to be the version of you as a child that was neglected because that's what you learned. That's what you're doing now. So we need to teach the body that we are not neglecting it. We're not abandoning it. We are actually focused on it as a priority. And you may not have learned how to love yourself. You may not have learned how to love your body. And that's why you're acting this way. That's why you are this way. And that's okay. It's okay to be where you are. It's okay if that's the case. And it gets to be different. We want to teach our bodies that our bodies are important and of value and not scary. A lot of the women I've worked with are very afraid of their bodies. They're very afraid of going into their bodies. They're afraid of what they're going to discover. They're afraid of what they're going to feel. They're just afraid. They are afraid of going into their own bodies. But once we start that process of going in and clearing out the unprocessed information that's taking up space and causing havoc on our system, we will start to heal these health issues we are facing. It should be the first thing we do. It should be the first thing that we do is start to address what's going on. What is the relationship you have with yourself? Because you will never be healthy if you have a negative, judgmental, harsh mindset towards yourself. You will never be healthy or happy. You won't, because it constricts your energy channels. It constricts your energy spine. It constricts your body. It puts you into fight mode, flight mode, freeze mode. If you have an unhealthy mindset towards yourself, you will never be happy no matter how healthy you eat or how much you exercise. Your mindset needs to be on point. We need to heal the mind. We need to heal the body. We need alignment and we need harmony. That's what we need. Okay, so to me, that's the underlying root to our health issues that we're facing. I mean, I even have, in my past, I used to have horrible acne all over my face, my neck, my shoulders, my chest, my back. It literally was everywhere. Now, yes, healthy diet helps. Yes, stress helps. And something I have never seen anybody talk about before, that is 100% true for me, is that when I am being dishonest, when I am not listening to my body, and when I am suppressing my emotions or my true self, when I'm suppressing my opinions, my beliefs, my emotions, my personality, when I am keeping it in, it will bubble up as a physical manifestation as acne, because it's my body's alarm system saying something's not right, something's off balance, and something is bubbling up to the surface that's not able to come out, and it's my expression. So every time in my past I noticed that I was holding in who I was, my skin would start to break out. Yes, when I was stressed as well. Yes, when I wasn't eating clean as well. But what drives the stress and what drives the choices I make when I eat? How I'm feeling, the thoughts I'm having about myself. So if I'm holding back who I am and I'm withholding this immense amount of energy of my true self, it's going to cause health complications. So if you're hiding parts of yourself, if you're hiding who you are in your relationships, if you're not being your true self and you're struggling with your energy or your mindset or your body or your weight or your hormones or your gut, to me, that makes perfect sense. To me, that makes perfect sense. You're not meant to use your energy to hold your energy back. You're meant to allow your energy to flow. And if you're damming your energy and you're blocking it and you're not letting it flow, you are going to struggle. Life will be hard. You will feel anxious. There will be noise inside you. It will be loud. Everything will be harder. And you will have health issues that form because you are now in dis-ease. These are the roots to what we need to heal in order for our health issues to evaporate. Think too, you want your body to have an environment set up for it to heal itself. We are not giving our bodies enough credit. They are beautiful, wise, magnificent bodies designed to heal and thrive. We just need to put it in the right environment to do so. If you're constantly in dysregulation of your nervous system, if you're in chronic stress, if you're chronically dysregulated, then you will not be healthy and you will have health issues come online. And what people do is try to treat the symptoms, treat the acne, treat the bloating, treat the gas, treat the mental fog, treat the PMDD with things specifically for the symptom. That's not what I do. I do those things. I help those things with my diet protocols, with my habit plans that I create for you, with the yoga classes or the meditations I design for you. Like the things I give you to do in your lifestyle help, yes, but also it's about processing. It's about feeling. It's about releasing what's stuck in the body so that you're free and clear and rise up out of the struggle, suffering weight that you are in and you are under. I know that makes sense to you. I know that was an aha moment for somebody hearing this information. And it's time that we really talk about the real work to healing, which is going deeper. It's going within ourselves. It's bridging a connection to our true selves. Over in my Seedlings membership, which is a personal development school for women wanting to know who they are and come back into their health and their wellness through the holistic pathway, I have a 3-month transformation program that you get to do in there. It's complimentary. The program is $27 a month, and you get a 3-month transformation program in it to come out of survival mode and back into your harmony and into the moment. It's amazing. We talk about the 5 survival patterns. There are 5 survival patterns, actually from this book right here, The 5 Personality Patterns by Stephen Kessler. Shout out. The 5 personality patterns are the 5 survival patterns. We have the leaving pattern, the merging pattern, the enduring pattern, the aggressive pattern, and the rigid pattern. If you are in any of these survival patterns, you are not your true self, and there is some kind of holding of your true self, some kind of holding of your real personality where you're kind of checked out, and a survival pattern is playing on behalf of you. So you're not in control of yourself. The survival patterns are in control of you. So if you ever feel like I'm trying to make the changes, I'm trying to show up, I'm trying not to impulsively eat, I'm trying not to do these things, but I cannot help it. It's like I'm not in control. It's because you're not. And we have to get you back in harmony and back in control of your body by teaching your body you're here, you're dedicated, you're present, and you will handle anything that comes your way. You will stand in the moment. You will not abandon it. Then the survival patterns can start to melt and you come online and you're in control of your destiny, of your choices, of your life. And I need that for you. I need that for you because it's so much better being there than being a victim to these parts of us that we feel out of control by. Hold on, take a sip of tea with me. We need that. We need that. We need that. So if you want to learn more about the survival patterns, I teach about it a lot on my Instagram and on my TikTok. That information is below. I will do some information on here coming soon, but also you should join Seedlings. If you want to come learn, if you want to come work with me in real time, I do group coaching. There's 2 live ceremonies or sessions we do every month in the Seedlings membership. So much good information in there. It's so fun. We're having such a good time. I will leave that information down below for you to look at. So I've got a couple more minutes before I have to go to get ready for my client session, but I want to finish off with talking about open loops, okay? This is your assignment. If I'm your coach and I'm giving you some assignments to do to support yourself, it is to close your open loops. Open loops are unfinished tasks, and they are draining your energy, and they're causing you to feel a weight on you. So close 3 open loops. That's your homework, okay? Close 3 open loops. What are 3 things that you know you need or want or should do that you haven't done, that you're putting off and you're avoiding, that you know in your mind is something that has to be done? What are those? What are 3 things? I need you to write them down right now. Write 3 different things down. Open loops. I wrote my 3 down. I've done 2. I've got 1 more to do. And you gain so much energy back when you complete them because then you close the loop. You close the open task. You've completed it. Now you have more energy, more clarity, more room for inspiration, new ideas to flow in because your mind isn't bogged down with old tasks that haven't been complete. Think about it like a web browser. Your web browser is open. You've got 50 tabs up and your computer's going slow because there's too much running. That's like your body. That's like your energy. If you have too many unfinished tasks in your mind, you're going to be anxious, overwhelmed. You're going to feel behind. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be stressed out and you're going to be tired and you're not going to have energy for anything because you have too much going on in your mind. So write down 3 tasks that you want to finish that you haven't finished yet, and then go finish them today and tomorrow. You have until tomorrow night. Go finish them and allow your energy to come back online. Again, this is the kind of work we need to do. What's going on in your mind and what's going on in your body. We need to shift the mindset. We need to clear the body. Then you have greater access to your intelligence, your intuition, and you get to show up in life as such a greater version of yourself. Okay, that's all I have time for today. Thank you for being with me here. It was so good to connect with you. Leave a review or a comment if you enjoyed this video and let me know what you enjoyed. Give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in our next one. Bye.